Hi. So, I wanted to talk new moon today. I guess I'll preface this by saying that I became very interested recently in setting new moon intentions, which wasn't something I always did. I actually rarely did it. But I realized that as we progress through this lunar cycle, month after month, for the whole year, there's this comforting feeling that what you experience is part of a greater cycle. And working with lunar cycles helped me to understand that I can actually compartmentalize some of the stuff that I'm experiencing and relate it to other people and relate it to the moon, and then move forward to the next cycle and then do it all over again. So it kind of just brings magic into what we would normally experience as hardship or trial. It brings magic into that, and it brings community into that. And for me to reflect on the full moon, back to the new moon intentions, and see if I have fulfilled the goals I wanted to fulfill is really important to me. So I wanted to talk about the new moon that's on Saturday so that you can have some insight onto what kind of intentions to set. So I'm looking at the chart for Saturday night. That's when the new moon is. So basically when it's a new moon, the moon and the sun are at the same point in the sky. That's why it's a dark moon. In this case, both the sun and the moon are at 14 degrees Taurus. So we're halfway through the sun in Taurus, our period of time with the sun in Taurus. So we're halfway through. But that being said, the Taurus elements are very present in this new moon. So we're talking about everything in the earthly plane is what we're dealing with right now. So work, functionality, rationality, stability, anything having to do with your senses. So things that you see, things that you touch, the things that you smell and hear, your living space, your clothes, your money, how you're spending your money, everything earthly. Everything on the earthly plane is what we're dealing with here. And Taurus is ruled by Venus, so elements of love, self-care, romance, candles, incense, nice shoes. Those are all Venus things. So those are all elements here too. So upon looking at this, I see that the sun and the moon is in the 7th house. They're meeting in the 7th house. The 7th house is the house out of the 12 that rules partnerships. This house is also ruled by Venus. So that amplifies this sensuality of this moon, that it's becoming very potent to set intentions when it comes to physical things. But we'll talk more about that in a little bit. But it's important to note that this is happening in the 7th house, which is the house associated with Libra, which is what the last 2 full moons were in, which is so rare for 2 full moons consecutively to be in the same sign. So rare. So basically for the past 2 months, we've been evaluating partnerships, and you have likely realized this in however ways that it's manifesting for you, but weeding out bad partnerships or connecting with meaningful partnerships. But either way, our relationships with other people has drastically changed. So for this new moon to be occurring in the 7th house is kind of like this final push to really evaluate what we've learned about partnerships in the past 2 months and really be clear on how we want to move forward and how we want to address our partnerships moving forward. How do we want to show up in partnerships moving forward? Are we being too controlling? Are we not being controlling enough? Could we challenge ourselves to attract better partnerships? Have we been letting okay partnerships stay for too long? So really that's the theme of these new moon intentions for me, is really evaluating how we want to show up, because how we show up for people is how people show up for us. So this is really important to get clear on how we're supporting others so that we can feel supported in return. As far as the aspects for this moon, so this is what I found really interesting, because Taurus is very stable, very plodding, very I'll work at it until it's done and then I'll stop. Sometimes to a fault. Not knowing when to stop, not knowing when something's not working. That could be a fault of Taurus energy for sure. It's not all good stuff. But the sun and the moon together are forming an aspect with the career point of the chart, the career angle, which is the midheaven. They're squaring off with the midheaven, which means that we're going to be butting some heads as far as how we're involving ourselves with our work. Specifically with the sun squaring off with the midheaven, we're going to make some changes that are necessary for us that might affect our team, affect our coworkers, affect our clients. But at the end of the day, if the decision you're making feels right, if it's something you've been meditating on, if it's something that's been coming up in the past 2 months, then I say go for it, because this turbulent reaction you might receive could be just, again, the things that aren't working falling away. So if it feels right, and if it's been something that you've been thinking about for a while, I would say definitely make that action when it comes to things that you're dealing with your career. With the moon in Taurus squaring off with the midheaven, because again, the sun and the moon are going to make the same connections with every planet or point because they're at the same spot in the chart. So with the moon squaring off with the midheaven, there's very much this notion of making sure that your cup is full, which I say this a lot, but it's really true. Making sure your cup is full before you help others. When the moon makes this aspect with this point of the chart, we shouldn't be sacrificing our emotional needs for our occupation or for our work. So you have to draw a line in a way. And that's really going to serve you, because this energy, this Taurus energy, it's really work or play. So it shouldn't just be all about work. We have to know when to stop, when to call it a day, when to rest. That's really big Taurus Venus energy. When to rest and relax. What else? We have really nice aspects with Saturn and Pluto, which are, I can see, right next to each other in the chart. So that connection is amplified. And what that means is Saturn is our restrictions, and Pluto is our rebirth. So for the sun and the moon to connect with Saturn and Pluto that way, we're kind of being reinforced that it's okay to have boundaries, and it's okay to change yourself. It's okay to be reborn. It's okay. You're being supported by the energy that enough is enough sometimes, and also I'm not confined to anything, and I can ignite and burn down and be born again at any given moment. And we're really being supported by those two planets because they're both retrograde, meaning they're taking a step back and they're not delivering the punches that they normally give us. Each planet provides us something. The moon provides us comfort, which is why working with the moon cycles will really fulfill you. It's like confiding with a best friend or a mentor and then hearing something back. That's how we connect with the moon. You know, when we connect with the sun, we connect with our personality, which is why when it's our birthday, we feel really good because the sun is shining on us, shining on our own sun sign and kind of amplifying it and being like, I see you. That's like having a hype man, like your best friend, just like hyping you up. That's when the sun is connecting with us. When we connect with Mercury, we're able to communicate and we're reinforced on how we're talking and typing and writing. But for Pluto and Saturn to connect with the sun and the moon, we're being supported to draw the line and don't be confined by how you've been confining yourself. Let's see. We also have another nice angle with Neptune, so which is really pretty for a new moon because we're going to be able to, Neptune is imagination and fantasy. That's when we connect with Neptune, we're connecting with the part of us that daydreams and fantasizes and has dreams. So for this new moon to connect with Neptune, we're going to find it really easy to imagine how we want our life to look, how we want the next month to look. And we're going to be really connected to that part of ourselves that can dream beyond our rational mind, what our rational mind thinks is possible for us. Because the most amazing things that are coming for us are past that point because they're so fantastic and so aligned for you that you can't even fathom them. Lastly, the Venus and Mercury are both in Aries. I will tell you from experience because I have this natal placement, Sun in Taurus, Mercury in Aries, Venus in Aries in my natal chart. It's amazing. It's like so go-getting. It's so go-getting. It's like now is the time to shoot your shot. Like now is the time that we're gonna be, you're very, very supported to say what you want to say and like love how you want to love, because both of those planets are in Aries and Aries gets what it wants. They're gonna be moving into Taurus before the full moon. So before the full moon, when they move to Taurus, it's gonna feel really different. Communication and love are gonna look really, really different. Not bad, but they're gonna look different by the full moon. Which, by the way, the new moon intentions are for the full moon. So when you get to the full moon, you look back, which is in 2 weeks. You'll look back and read what you've written, what you've wanted to work on, and then on the full moon, you say, all right, I'm ready to embrace this and release what's not working so that I can embrace it better. But yeah, this is a really good time. You're really supported. Let's see. Where is Jupiter? So yes, Venus and Mercury in Aries are trying to Jupiter. Really lovely aspect to Jupiter, and Jupiter is the planet of luck, and Jupiter is supporting us as well because he's also retrograde. So he's saying, I'm taking a step back and just letting the blessings fall. But definitely make the move. Definitely say what you need to say. You'll be supported for sure. For sure. I think that's all I wanted to say about that. I'll type this up and put it on my website or email it to my mailing list for sure. And maybe post an Instagram post about it for specifics on what you can write about for the new moon. But yeah, Saturday night, really take the time. I would get a journal. I have like post-it notes or index cards that I save, and I just keep them in a stack so that you can look back, because you're really going to want to look back, because astrology is cyclical. So we're going to reach a point where we're going to be like, think back to this period of time. What were you doing then? And you're going to be like, shit, I don't know. I wasn't thinking about it. Really think about it. Everything you're experiencing at every moment is really important. Like beyond important. It's happening for a reason. So, all right. Have fun. Thanks for watching.